Good morning, good afternoon, and happy Monday. Today is the 9th of February, and it was a very good day to start the week. I'm surprised because we saw some big runners out there today, multiple stocks running up over multiple hundreds of percent. And so things are back on fire, and I was able to nail the top stock today on CCHH with a pretty nice day today from last night's free watch list. If you watch my free watch list, you're watching this stock today, and it gave us a really nice move. But anyway, let's go ahead and break it all down from start to finish. What I traded today because this started out kind of slow, but it got hotter as the morning progressed, as we expected. See, now last week the market was selling off, crypto was tanking, silver and gold tanking, and so everything was very risk off. People were just sort of stepping back, a lot of slowness. Now the market's back at all time highs. You got small cap stocks exploding. We had multiple stocks run multiple hundreds of percent. I couldn't believe it. So we started out today. And I listened to the open. We always have a pre-market watch list going into the bell. That way I sort of know what to watch. I sort of know where to have my eyes at the open. That's why I trade the open so well. And I had MIMI, EZRA, MNTS, and BFRI. We have about 4 A-plus setups here to watch. And so with that, I was hopeful. I was like, man, this looks pretty good. But then I go into the open, and man, I'm able to take some pretty good trades on MIMI. And that was the top watch I had initially out of the bell. This thing was actually really fun to trade. I traded it extremely well. And so we had, look at this. Of course, penny stocks were the theme today. We had so many penny stocks. And so you have this sort of stair step set up in pre-market early on lighter volume. Now it pulls back going into market open underneath the 9, the 20 moving average and underneath VWAP. Well, I'm watching for the break above. And as you can see on the list here, what it says, look, I'm watching over 36 cents and over VWAP for the range back to 50. Well, I want you to see how I played this today because it's so awesome. We had room back to 50 over the highs from pre-market. Now, of course, we didn't get that. But the entry criteria was spot on. And so you can see here the game plan was to watch it over 36 cents and over VWAP. And so, of course, I wait for it to get over VWAP and over 36 cents, where both of those things then are aligned and able to trade it quite well. And so I know we have room to the pre-market highs then to 50 cents. After breaking over VWAP, able to take the perfect entry there off the micro pullback. Stops go at the bottom of that breakout candle because I want to make sure that it does hold off of VWAP and continue higher. And so the first trade that I had here was a pretty simple win. And I had this here from 40 cents back to about 42 cents. So a small little base hit, about 5%. So then it pulls back again off of VWAP here, able to take it quite well again from, as you can see, 40 cents, risking off of VWAP at 38 cents, about 3 cents a share of risk. And I get to move back up into the highs again to 42.80. Then it rejects off the high on the next candle. And then I'm thinking, look, it reclaims VWAP in the 90 MA. Is it going to get squeezing back up higher? I thought it was, but it did not. And so it just sort of chopped sideways, took a full exit, and overall sitting here with some good profit on this from the pre-market watch list. Now, outside of MI, of course, we had UK today, which I'm not extremely happy about. Here's the thing, I have a hard time, and it's for a reason. You don't ever want to go chase that first candle out of the bell. Unless it's a flush in some sort of pullback entry, I don't like taking the first candle. I hate buying strength at the open. I just hate it. I hate it. Because more often than not, it's trying to grab liquidity before it knifes down lower. And so I just don't do it. I hate it. I don't have conviction doing it. And so I missed the entry here. Oh well. Now it sucks. So it halts up here. Big move on the OK. It was one that we were watching back in pre-market into the open. This was the top stock I was watching at the open, and I completely missed the entry because I just can't trade it. And so more often than not, you'll get, like I said, you'll find yourself getting faked out here trying to trade the open like that. So I just don't do it. I wait for confirmation. And this just wasn't a clear opening range breakout. It just never really consolidated, never really put in place a range. It just sort of gapped and went. So this went, pulled back and went higher up out of the next halt into another halt. Then gaps up again. I take lotto size here, risking really loose off the 90 MA. Looking for the squeeze up to 5 and 6 and 7 because it's going crazy. And so I'm happy with this because I really did trade it well. I was able to add back to my position and get proper size off the pullbacks after confirming off the 90 MA. 20-cent win here, able to get this overall flat on the morning. I've got no profit on you today. I'm flat on it. And I hate that because it made a big move out of the open, but that's really the only move it had. It gave you 1, 2, 3 halts, or it gave you 1, 2 halts, and then that was pretty much all she wrote. So again, I did what I could with it. But the big one here was CCHH, and with that, you just have to do what's going to work long term, and I just can't go trade the open like that. But CCHH was one of the top stocks from last night's watch list. We were able to trade it extremely well today. My only concern was looking back at open, or pre-market, excuse me. We had this big high here from pre-market, which rejected, of course, put in place sellers off the high. I can't go trading up into those highs, so I've got to wait for a break above, which is what I did. I was able to catch 3 back-to-back wins on this today. And so the first one I took, of course, was over that. I wanted it here, but I was too busy taking profits on MIMI that I just missed the entry. It is what it is. And so I try to take the break at the high of day, get squeezing out over the highs. And so Got a little bit of something there. You can see I got a 2 cent move, and then it rejects off the highs and puts in place this topping tail. Well, that topping tail is a red flag going forward because now I know that there are sellers in this price range. And so I can go ahead and mark out here across the screen here. We have supply sitting through this price range. And so what I've got to understand is if I want to play this, so we have room to the upside, of course. We had that, again, clear, that we had room over $1. And so I think it was $1.10 was the range here. And so I have to see it first break over this past area of supply and then confirm off pullbacks where it then becomes an area of demand. And so it breaks above, pulls back, big wick off the 90 MA signals confirmation. And so as it pulls back again, I nail the entry, stops, go off the wick of this low, and then I get a move back up into the highs again. So able to trade this again. Look at this, from 92 back to 98 cents. And so I'm risking 2 cents to make 6 cents. Again, I'm super happy with that. Couldn't be happier. And so then it breaks back below the 9 and 20 EMA. Then it reclaims. Well, on the reclaim, look at this. It pops back above the 9 and 20 with some volume. Look at this here on this, 10-15 candle. Pops back above on volume. Easy entry opportunity on the reclaim because price pulls back. Buyers step in over the 9 and 20. Stops go beneath the EMAs. And again, able to risk 2 cents. Look at this. 90-cent entry. Risking 88 cents, 2 cent, and then of course I'm looking for the squeeze back up to $1, and so I get this all the way back to $1 a share, and again, couldn't be happier. Again, I play this here just risking off the 9 EMA the entirety of the move. You can see trailing off the 9 as we began to see volume dry up underneath the $1 level. Took a full profit here, literally underneath the dollar. I tried to add pullbacks over $1 for the squeeze back to new highs with lotto size. Of course, I didn't get that, but I also didn't have much size either. So overall, locked in 3 wins, 1 little loss at the end, and that's my morning. So that being said, super happy with the day. Market's getting hot again with things perking back up. Multiple stocks running big today. I'm looking forward to the rest of the week. Overall, green way to start the week. A little icebreaker here to figure out what that trend is going to be after a slower week last week, although it was a green week last week too. It looks like now going into the rest of the week, we can really trade with some good conviction, get out there, get aggressive, and I'm looking forward to a very fun Tuesday after this pretty awesome Monday. So that being said, if you did learn a thing or two, make sure to subscribe for daily content just like this, and make sure to claim your 7-day free trial in the description below to trade alongside me in real time every single day and get alerts, education, chat room access, watch list, journal, our AI, everything else. That's a mouthful. So that being said, I better see you there for another awesome day ahead. And if I don't, I'll catch you back here tomorrow with a daily recap. You'll have an awesome, blessed, responsible, safe rest of your day, and I'll catch you back next time.